Hello everyone and welcome to another survival game guide in our Medieval Dynasty series. Today is all about insulation. And you might be wondering why insulation is so important. And there's actually like two kind of like main benefits that it provides. The first is that your villagers' moods will actually improve if they have a insulated home, particularly with a this that I have here, this limestone on the stone wall. That'll make them very happy indeed. And they will also use less firewood, which means your little woodworker person doesn't have to produce as much firewood. Like your needs will decrease, so your production can decrease a little bit, which means you can have them produce other things that maybe you might need instead. So that's really awesome. And then obviously there's always aesthetic purposes too. You might like the look of the white stone more than just the stone itself. Same with like using daub on the wattle and the log walls here. You might just like it how it looks a little bit more with daub. I personally don't, but you might, and that's totally fine. So you can have a little bit of fun with aesthetics as well. So if you're a little bit more interested in insulation, because mood boost, production boost, always a good thing. You might wonder, what buildings are actually available for you to insulate. And honestly, you can insulate all the buildings, homes, production buildings, animal husbandry buildings, all of them. You are able to insulate them. Now, that being said, the only buildings that really have like a mechanical benefit is the houses. And again, like I said, that just boosts your villagers' moods for higher production levels and also reduces their firewood usage. The other buildings, they don't really have a mechanical benefit like that. At the very most, like the durability of the buildings might increase a little bit, so you don't have to repair them as often. But like it doesn't really improve like their production at all. So don't look for anything like that, unfortunately. But you can maybe make them look a little bit prettier, I guess, if you like the insulated look on them. I don't have any daub on these buildings, but I could potentially maybe make some. We'll have to see here. But speaking of insulation, the process to do so, you actually need a skill to start insulating. So we'll quick go into that. We're going to go to skills, and you will find it in the production skill tree right here. And it is under the handyman skill. You can see right here, insulating walls for lower firewood consumption. So go into your production skill tree, get some, produce a bunch of stuff so you can get like some skill points, and then make sure you put one in handyman before you use up all your available skill points for this tree so that you can insulate. And then once you have that unlocked, you're basically going to do that with your hammer. You're going to need a hammer. Right click per usual, and you will see this add insulation. You can even remove it if you want to for whatever reason, but you can add insulation. You just click that, and then you can see this gets all highlighted and stuff. I've already done all my houses, so I don't have anything there to show you, but basically that's kind of like how you do the process. And you might wonder, how do you actually make the insulation materials, the resources? So daub is something you actually have to unlock and craft as well, and I believe it's in your barn. Yes, indeed, right here. So once you have the barn unlocked, you can come here, and we'll just buy this, because why not? And you can unlock daub, and you can see that to make some daub, you're going to need 10 straw and 10 clay, which I don't think I have, actually. I don't think I have. I have plenty of straw, but I don't think I have any clay on me, sadly. But basically, you take... I'm just going to double check here. I have 1 clay. All right. But basically, you take your ingredients that you need, come to your barn, and you'll see right there, it'll take, it'll take 10 straw and 10 clay, but you get 10 daub out of it, which I don't know if that's really a great ratio anyway. But basically, you get 10 of that, and then when you are ready to insulate, we'll go here. You can see that, at least, there we go. You can see that you need 8 daub for, like, per each wall, basically. And that might differ based off of, like, let's see if I can't find, here we go. Like, one of these, like, corner, or these roof wall thingies. Yeah, so, like, you need 4 there, for example. So basically just craft it, hammer it in like you would normally, and then eventually that'll become insulated. For limestone, when you're using when you have stone walls, you actually need limestone. You cannot use daub on them. And limestone you can get in 2 ways. You can hit these guys with your pickaxe, and they will actually give you some limestone as well as like rock and stone. Or if you don't have time for that, you can also have your people craft it or gather it for you, basically. which I had these guys doing for a little bit. You can see right here, you can be like, all right, go get me some limestone, and then they will gather it for you. It'll show up in your resource shed, and then you can just put it in your inventory, and then go do the little stone walls and hammer them in per usual. And I think these walls require about the same as those guys, so like eight limestone per wall, for like the corner or the ceiling roofs and stuff like that. And it takes a little bit with limestone because you're kind of like either getting it yourself through these guys, or you're waiting on your villagers to basically gather that for you. So it can take a little bit, especially if you aren't going full blast on limestone on it, on its own as well. But it's well worth it in my opinion if you want your villagers to be as happy as they can be, producing as much as they can, and perhaps not using firewood as often. But that is basically it for insulation. Hopefully that answers your questions. I did get this from a viewer, so thank you for the question. I will shout you out in the description. And if you guys do have other questions, by all means, ask away, and if I can make a video of it, I will. But thanks so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, keep surviving and keep thriving.